Good morning, everybody. Dave Graybill, fishingmagician.com. Back on Lake Roosevelt again with Kevin Witte, and we're fishing a little bit different area. You may remember our last video we did with Kevin. He showed us all about fishing for northern pike and walleye up here. Today, we're after sturgeon. And Kevin, the season opened up here on June 12th, and I hear you've boated a few this year.
Yeah, I boated a few, killed 7.
Yes.
Quite a few oversized fish coming in the boat.
Right.
And there's a pretty good abundance of mid 40-inch fish getting caught right now too.
That's great. You know, there's a slot limit on these fish because we keep the oversized as brood stock. And what is the slot on these sturgeon up here now?
You're allowed to keep 50 to 63-inch fish, and that's from the snout to the center of the fork.
Right. And this is a fairly new fishery. This is about the 4th year, isn't it, of this fishery?
It's been open 4 years, so
yes.
All the keepers and all the smaller broods are typically been hatchery fish.
Exactly.
And we still get a mix of 3 to 4 foot fish that are wilds.
Yes.
You can tell based off they have a scoop cut off their side.
Okay.
So they notch them into hatchery.
Right. And it's an exciting fishery. A lot of people think, they have the impression that sturgeon are just big, you know, like pulling up a rock off the bottom. That is not the case.
No, we get quite a few that warms up a little bit more. We'll start getting the 6 to 8 footers and jumping.
Yes, coming right out of the water.
Big runs having to drop anchor and chase the fish.
Wow, that's exciting stuff. I've always called this freshwater big game fishing because there's nothing like it, I don't think, in the country.
It's about the biggest pull you're going to get up here is one of these things.
Exactly, exactly. Now, we ran up into this area that is known to hold sturgeon, and you've got rods out on big pyramid sinkers, and they recommend you use pretty stiff, heavy-duty rods and reels for this. One of the reasons is you don't want to overstress the fish.
Yeah, you don't want to have them on the line for an hour and a half. You want to be able to work that fish, get it tired, get it in the boat, and be able to release it real quick.
Exactly, because you do release a lot of fish, particularly the oversized fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, good sturdy rods and reels, 50-pound line probably is adequate.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a pretty good leader that can stand the stress of getting dragged across the rocks from the bottom and that sort of thing.
It's a lot of the rocks and a lot of the scoots on the fish.
The scoots on the fish are very sharp.
And the face.
Yes.
So we run 90-pound leaders, just Dacron, and that's essentially just for abrasion resistance.
Exactly. Now, and I see that you prefer a very popular bait fish, sturgeon or squid.
Yep.
And you can buy these, right? A lot of sporting goods stores have the squid available.
Most of the gas stations up here, most of the sporting goods stores carry them.
Right.
Squid, herring, smelt are your pretty basics you'll find everywhere up here.
Okay, good. Now, what's the trick of getting that on the hook?
Go through the body, come back through the head section, and then I prefer to half hitch all the way up the bait, and that just kind of controls that bait, holds it, and then orients it to the fish in the current. That way, and then when your sinker's on the bottom, the current's sitting holding that out. You got the hook oriented towards the fish. The fish comes up on the scent trail.
Very good. You know, that's not very complicated at all.
No, and it keeps a lot of line twist out of it, especially with the herring and the smelt.
They have
a tendency to start spinning your leader up. So if you half hitch them, flip the tails off those.
Okay.
You won't get the spin. You'll just get the bait coming out.
Excellent, excellent. And then we're sitting at about 70 feet of water. Of course, you fish some deeper depths than that occasionally.
Up to about 160.
160 feet. And today we're running how many ounces on the pyramid?
These are 20s.
20s.
And that's
okay.
just where the area we're at and the water flow going on. It's what I can use to control and split my baits up spacing.
Exactly.
So my fronts are on 20s, my backs are on 16s, and get a little bit of spacing between.
All right. Well, I'm going to step off the camera out of range. so you can see him place this bait here in the river. Splooge.
Once I get the bottom, usually give it a couple bounces, make sure your sinker's actually holding bottom.
Yes.
Down by Kettle Falls, not a big of a deal, less current.
Oh,
And
okay.
the other thing about bottom checking too is you get any of the slack out of it that's in front of the lead.
Right. Yeah, you want a nice straight line to your weight.
Yeah, and the other thing is to make sure your drags aren't maxed out. A lot of guys up here have too much drag. Every once in a while, somebody will come out here and catch a rod because they got pushed off the boat.
Okay.
You know, your
Good to
typical
know.
sturgeon bites really light, but if they come up, suck the bait up, get stuck, they tend to have a tendency just to tear off.
Take off
Yeah.
before you can get off the buoy. Now we're anchored, big heavy duty anchor, and then you're on a buoy. Is that right?
Yeah, I run a 35-pound Columbia River anchor,
Okay.
and then I run a buoy system. And that way, if we got to get off anchor, I don't have to sit and pull it. You can just throw the whole bag or everything out.
Right.
And be able to chase the fish.
Excellent. All right. Now we got 4 rods in the water, all baited up, ready to go. Now we wait and see what happens. The views are spectacular on Lake Roosevelt. This is China Bend, the northernmost boundary for the early sturgeon fishery on Lake Roosevelt. This is how Kevin retrieves an anchor that's often as deep as 160 feet. We are now approaching the mouth of the Kettle River. This is one of the most popular areas for sturgeon fishing on Lake Roosevelt. Here's the bridge at Kettle Falls over Lake Roosevelt, a very popular sturgeon fishing spot. The marina at Kettle Falls offers great access to sturgeon and northern pike fishing hotspots.
Back one more time.
You getting a bite over there, Dave?
No, we're getting that on this one. Come on, you bugger.
Oh, Kevin's hooked up. He's hooked up.
What a job.
Get him, Dave.
Oh, Millie. Oh, Kevin, that's incredible. You get the... Oh.
Running slow.
Yeah. This is amazing. What patience. Incredible job on hooking that fish.
That one's not coming unstuck.
No. Lake Roosevelt white sturgeon. Woohoo! Oh, he was out there a ways. A couple of good runs.
Yeah, he made some pretty hard runs.
Yeah.
Pretty solid fish.
Bubbles. There he is. There he is.
There you go. Keep reeling. Keep reeling.
Got him.
Slack.
Hey.
All right, Dave.
Look at that. Woo!
Tape measure in the gunnel. Right up in front of the rods. It's a little short.
Yeah.
How's your arms feel?
Yeah, that was a good workout.
Bit short.
Close though, huh?
Close. 47,
47, and it's got to be
50.
just
Oh.
3 inches short.
He is a sharp 47.
But man, what fun. Amazing job, Kevin. Getting that fish. Woohoo! Check this out. Now that's a beautiful fish. Look at his color. And look at those scoots.
Yeah, he's a sharp one.
Yeah, nice.
Put her back in.
Fabulous. Oh yeah.
There he goes.
Very nice.
Good job,
Woo,
guys.
buddy. Kevin,
Nice
thank
fish.
you. Amazing. What a great experience. Gosh, the quality of these fish up here. You see the color in that thing? He was just bright.
And the fight in it for
And the-
4-foot fish.
Oh yeah. And there's that.
It's a lot. Becomes a lot more interesting when it's 9 feet 10.
Oh yeah. That was just right.
Perfect fish.
Just right. Perfect fish. Perfect day.
It would have been a little more perfect if it was 3 inches longer. We could have
Yeah.
fish tacos.
That, yeah. But that's okay.
Any day with fish is a good day.
It's an excellent day. What a terrific experience to be up here, Lake Roosevelt, summertime, beautiful weather, and the opportunity to catch fish like that and bigger is amazing. And this goes, in fact, there's another stretch above here that opens in August, is that right?
Above China Bend will open August 1st.
And there's a whole bunch of fresh fish waiting for you up there,
And this fishery should stay open till October.
all the way through October.
Yeah, that's what they've done in past. It's quota based, so there's a chance it can close early,
Right,
but typically it's going to stay open.
right. It hasn't had the pressure like it did when it first opened.
No, the pressure slowed down quite a bit on it since then.
Right, right. But just right here we are, almost within sight of the launch.
Yeah, you
It's
don't have
just-
to go far,
You really, it's not a big long boat ride to get anywhere.
and there's fish all the way through this thing.
All the way through this section of the river.
Yeah, there's a ton of fish up here.
Right.
You know, we have the hatchery here. Canada's got a good hatchery system,
Yes.
so it's a great way to be able to fish and be home every night for me.
Oh,
And
absolutely. You know, and from here, you know, we fished the mouth of the Colville just to the south of us. The mouth of the Kettle is just above us, and those are two really good places to look for these fish as well.
yeah, and you can go all the way up, you know, right till the first of next month. You can go all the way to China Bend.
All the way to China Bend, which was a beautiful boat ride. Just getting up there is, the scenery here in Lake Roosevelt is something else, something to behold.
It's pretty hard to beat for the place to work every day.
Yeah, no kidding. Another day at the office for Kevin is
Yeah.
wonderful. And as I say, August 1st, a whole bunch of fresh fish that haven't seen a bait yet this season.
Yeah, and you get a lot of big fish up there.
Absolutely, and also I just got to mention that Lake Roosevelt The walleye fishing up here is just off the charts. I mean, the daily limit is 16 fish compared to 8 fish everywhere else in the state.
Yeah.
And that's just another option if you want to come up here, fish sturgeon a day with Kevin, and then go walleye fishing. What a fabulous experience that would be.
You know, and they have most of the campgrounds open back up. Not all of them are open, but a lot of them are. It's you got to go online, do reservations first. It's not
Sure.
First come, first serve anymore. But you still have the chance to be able to camp here.
Yes, and there's parks all up and down this reservoir.
Yeah, you can launch about every 10 miles, 5 miles.
Yeah, it's
So-
amazing. Lake Roosevelt, Kettle Falls area, all the facilities you need, and between Kettle Falls and Colville, just up the road, what, 7 miles to Colville from Kettle Falls?
7 miles to Colville.
Yeah, and they got everything you need, everything that even the big cities have to offer. So, great place to bring the family, spend a weekend, spend a week, and highly recommend that. And Kevin, thanks again. What a terrific
Yeah,
experience.
thank you for coming out again.
You betcha.